Jessica's plenty flexible to do this without a bolster, so let me just show you, but some of your clients aren't, so then we'll look at that. So here what we're gonna do is compress the adductor group nice and broadly. So because she's in this passive stretch position, when I compress, it's adding to the stretch, right? So that should feel good. And you might notice if I really press, watch how her, as is on this side, comes towards me, right? So that now that's gone beyond the adductors, right? Because now the adductors are torquing on the pelvis, right? So find that balance. And Hunter's canal, right? Lower down on the adductor zone, there's an area here where you compress nerve directly, so be really broad. I find if you're just really broad with your hands, then it's good. If you get too pokey, it feels quite nervy. And then now Sarah's premonition is coming true. Come down the medial calf to complete that line. Feels really good usually. Mm-hmm. So let's say Jessica wasn't quite as flexible. And how do I know this? Because you open the leg and the leg is hovering. Mm-hmm. We don't want to leave it hovering. We want to give it something to rest on, and then we'll compress at that point. Sometimes what I'll also do, which is harder, but I'll do it anyway, just put my own leg there, right? But see how this angle gets trickier? So that's the difficulty, is the mechanics aren't as favorable to me. But we don't want to leave the leg hanging.
What do they do?
I don't know, but it sounds fun. Let's take lunch early. Yeah, the Tiki Bar, they're always doing fun sounding things. There must be alcohol involved. Yeah. So what we don't want to do is leave the leg hanging in space like that and then compress. It's too vulnerable and typically painful. And what will probably happen is, rather than having the adductors release, is you'll just be bringing the pelvis, because it's pretty, you're kind of at that end point. So bolster is good like that. And then you can press into the bolster. Okay. Quite simple. Let's see. Should we do a couple more? Yeah, let's do a couple more and then I'll review. Forearm roll is another way to do this. I find this feels quite good. Also broad, but a little deeper, a little more specific. What's nice about the forearm roll is, because it's broad and it's not my hands, I can go much higher up towards the origin of the adductors without it feeling invasive, right? If I'm using my hands like this, you want to do it in a very particular way to feel like you can approach the attachments. But with my forearm like this, I can get really up there and it feels broad and non-invasive, hopefully. And that's the goal.
You go down and then back up?
I don't, I'm just working my way that way. Again, for time. If you have lots of time, you can go back and forth and back and forth. But let's do the next two. Okay, it might be too much, but we'll see. Okay, so then take the leg out, put her foot on your hip here, and you want to get them out to 90 degrees roughly if you can. And my left hand is holding her foot into my hip, so it's not dangling there, and my right hand is compressing. So here, that was awesome. Yeah, so notice her pelvis really was rotating. That's fine. We're gonna let it. We really want to take the leg down. I'm lunging and compressing. This is a new position for a lot of people's bodies. That's a good thing. Nice and slow, but deeply. And because I'm letting the pelvis rotate, I can really take her leg down, right? If the guideline were, don't let her pelvis move, then her leg would get to there. Look how, see that? It's not, I can't do anything, right? So that's why we're gonna let it. It's more of a mobilization than an isolation of the adductor group. And then we're gonna finish with the last thing. I'm just gonna keep her leg from getting dragged towards me. That's what you see in the image there. And then using just my lunge, I'm gonna take her knee as if it can go right up into her armpit. And some people's will.
And
So-
at this point, could you potentially just anchor your right hand on her hip, or do you?
I could, I don't find I need to because of this.
So you're holding your right arm.
Yeah,
so
because
her
watch
leg
what happens if
wouldn't-
I don't, is her leg gets
Right.
I
dragged
see,
towards
okay.
me. So I'm just trying to, I'm not trying to do anything other than just prevent
support it?
that.
Okay.
And I'm just lunging, I don't even need my hands really, right? I'm just trying to lunge deeply. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the edge, it's intense. And people's hips vary a lot. Right? Okay, so let's go back. So from the dorsiflexion to plantar flexion, right? Metatarsal release on all those, squeezing, twisting, pulling each of the toes. Then both feet at the same time, right? All those 10 points. And then come back to this same leg, tree pose with compressions, nice and slow and deep, down that same line on the calf. Right? Open the leg out, compressions with lunging. And then just lunging.